the drug enforcement team underestimated her. Agent Maria Santos stood before the experienced DEA agents on her first undercover assignment. All of them looked more experienced than her, all seemed like they came from the streets. How will this woman deal with cartels? They thought. Santos sensed their doubts but didn't get defensive. But that night when Santos spoke with perfect Mexican slang at the cartel meeting and immediately gained the drug lord's trust, everyone's jaw dropped. Because Santos wasn't just an agent, she was a former cartel insider. Welcome to Stories of Honor. Before we begin this powerful story of hidden drug operations, dangerous infiltration, and life-saving insider knowledge, tell me in the comments which city you're watching from today, and if you believe stories like this need to be told, hit that subscribe button and help us keep these stories alive. On the third floor of the DEA Los Angeles office, on a hot December afternoon, 8 experienced drug agents sat in the task force operations room. Each had fought for years against Mexican cartels, street gangs, and dangerous drug dealers. Standing before them was a 32-year-old, medium-height, dark-skinned woman. Agent Maria Santos looked extremely professional in her standard DEA field agent uniform of dark pants and blazer jacket. Her black hair fell to her shoulders in waves, minimal makeup on her face. As she placed the file in her hand on the table, she could feel the agents in the room evaluating her. "Good afternoon," said Maria with a slight Latin accent. "I'm Agent Santos. From now on, I'll be working with you on Sinaloa Cartel operations." Silence. 8 agents looked at her, none seeming particularly pleased. Agent Jack Morrison, 43 years old with 15 years of street experience, was the first to speak. "Agent Santos, which cartel operations have you worked on before?" "I've been involved in various assignments," Maria said diplomatically. "Mostly intelligence and surveillance work." Agent Carlos Rodriguez, 39 years old, Mexican origin agent, winked at his friend Agent Tommy Chen. "Surveillance, huh? Have you ever done real undercover work?" "Limited," said Maria. "But I'm willing to learn." Agent Jennifer Walsh, the only other female agent on the team, looked with a skeptical expression. "Working with cartels is very dangerous. It can be challenging without street experience." Maria nodded. This skepticism wasn't new. She had been working at the DEA for 4 years and always saw the same reactions. Because of her clean appearance and academic approach, colleagues saw her as an office agent. "Let's move on to today's operation briefing," said Maria, opening her tablet. "We've received intelligence about the Sinaloa Cartel's new distribution network in Los Angeles." Agent Marcus Williams, team leader, 40-year-old veteran, shuffled through the file. "Santos, these types of operations require undercover work. Direct contact with cartel members, street meetings. Are you ready for that?" "I'm ready," said Maria determinedly. "Really?" asked Agent Morrison skeptically. "The cartel world is very brutal. One wrong move means a death sentence." "I understand," said Maria calmly. The truth was much more complex. Before Maria's 4 years at the DEA, she had worked inside the Sinaloa Cartel in Guadalajara for 3 years. But this information was highly classified and forbidden to share. "Let's do equipment check," said Williams. "We'll review our undercover gear." The team moved to the equipment room. Hidden cameras, recording devices, emergency beacons, fake IDs. Maria carefully examined each piece of equipment, but she had used most of these before. "Santos," said Agent Chen, "do you know how to use these recording devices?" "Theoretically," said Maria. "I learned in training." Agent Rodriguez smiled. "Theory and practice are very different. In a real cartel meeting, the adrenaline rush, fear factor, these change the equation." "I'm sure," said Maria. But what Rodriguez didn't know was that Maria had experienced adrenaline rush and fear factor in real cartel meetings. The first day passed with routine intelligence briefings and surveillance training. Maria listened quietly, took notes, asked questions. The team was professional but distant. At lunch they sat at a separate table, not including Maria. How's it going? Asked DA intelligence analyst Lisa Park, Maria's friend. As expected, said Maria. Building trust will take time. Patience is a virtue, said Lisa. But don't let them underestimate you. Maria nodded. The balance was delicate. If she was too aggressive, they would show more resistance. If she was too passive, they would never respect her. That evening Williams called the team for an emergency briefing. Major development, said Williams. Our Sinaloa contact has arranged a meeting. Downtown, tomorrow night. Who's going? Asked Morrison. Rodriguez and Chen. Spanish speakers, street credible. Maria raised her hand. Can I come too? As an observer? Williams hesitated. Very risky. First time undercover, cartel meeting, dangerous combination. I'm ready, said Maria. I want to gain experience in a controlled environment. Rodriguez grinned. Controlled environment? There's no control in cartel meetings. Anything can happen. I understand the risk, said Maria. Williams thought. Fine. But you'll stay in the background. No talking, no interaction. The next night, in the industrial district of downtown Los Angeles, near an old warehouse, they sat in a black SUV. Maria in the back seat, Rodriguez and Chen in front. Remember, said Rodriguez, total silence. Let us handle everything. Understood, said Maria. Walking toward the warehouse, Maria analyzed the surroundings. Exit points, potential threats, escape routes. Her training was on autopilot. Inside, under dim lighting, 5 Mexican men sat. The leader was obvious, 40s, scarred, intimidating presence. Buenas noches, said Rodriguez, approaching carefully. The leader looked over the group. ¿Quién son ustedes? Somos compradores, said Chen. Buscamos producto. Maria listened to the conversation. Rodriguez and Chen's Spanish was good, but their accents were clearly American. The cartel members looked suspicious. The leader frowned. Su español suena extraño. Rodriguez tensed. His Spanish skills were being questioned. At that moment Maria instinctively stepped forward. Her Guadalajara training kicked in. Disculpe la molestia, said Maria with perfect Sinaloa accent. Mis compañeros son de la frontera. Su español es diferente. Silence. Everyone turned to her. Rodriguez and Chen were shocked, cartel members intrigued. The leader approached Maria. ¿De dónde eres, hermana? Guadalajara, said Maria without hesitation. Cerca del centro. Ah, see? The leader's eyes narrowed. ¿Conoces a la familia Herrera? Maria's heart pounded. The Herrera family, major Sinaloa players. But Maria knew them. Claro. Don Miguel y sus hijos. Controlan la zona norte. The leader smiled suddenly. Exacto. Tú sí conoces la plaza. Rodriguez and Chen were completely stunned. Maria was showing perfect insider knowledge. ¿Cómo te llamas? Asked the leader. Elena, said Maria. Her old undercover identity. Elena, tú hablas como nosotros. Eres de confianza. The meeting was successful. The cartel members accepted Maria, business arrangements were made. Rodriguez and Chen mostly remained silent. After leaving the warehouse, an explosion of questions began in the SUV. What the hell was that? Asked Rodriguez. Santos, how did you know the Herrera family? Added Chen. Maria hesitated. It was time to reveal the truth. From intelligence briefings, she said diplomatically. Bullshit, said Rodriguez. That was insider knowledge. Real, detailed, current information. Williams interrupted over the radio. Team, return to base immediately. Debrief needed. At the DA office, in the conference room, the entire team gathered. Williams had a serious expression. Santos, said Williams, tonight's performance was unexpected. Thank you, sir. That wasn't a compliment. That was an observation. How did you know specific details about Sinaloa operations? Maria took a deep breath. Moment of truth. Sir, I have background in the Sinaloa region. What kind of background? Deep cover operations. 3 years. Guadalajara assignment. Jaws dropped. Complete silence. Morrison leaned forward. You were undercover? For 3 years? Yes. Elena Vasquez identity. Embedded with cartel network. Rodriguez stood up. Holy shit. Elena Vasquez? We heard rumors about that operation. Details remain classified, said Maria firmly. Williams studied her carefully. Why wasn't this in your file? Compartmentalized information. Need to know basis. Chin shook his head. 3 years undercover with Sinaloa? That's legendary. It was an assignment. I did my job. Walsh approached respectfully. Maria, that explains everything. Your Spanish, your knowledge, your calm under pressure. Experience teaches adaptation, said Maria simply. Williams addressed the team. Obviously this changes operational dynamics. Santos has insider expertise we need. Sir, said Maria, I prefer to maintain my current role. My undercover days are behind me. But tonight proved your skills are invaluable, insisted Williams. I can provide intelligence support without direct involvement. Morrison stepped forward. Santos, I owe you an apology. We misjudged you completely. No need, said Maria. Classified information couldn't be shared earlier. But you saved tonight's operation, said Rodriguez. Without your intervention, we would have been exposed. Team effort, emphasized Maria. Your approach, my linguistic support. In the following weeks, Maria's status changed dramatically. Team members showed her different respect. Questions became more serious, collaboration genuine. Maria, said Williams one morning, your expertise is valuable in planning new Sinaloa operations. Of course. I can combine intelligence analysis with cultural insight. Rodriguez approached. Santos, that Guadalajara operation, how did you maintain cover for 3 years? Maria smiled slightly. Patience, observation, cultural immersion. Most importantly, respect for the people you're working with. Even criminals, asked Chen. Criminals are still people. Understanding motivation, family dynamics, personal history, this creates authentic connections. Morrison nodded. That's advanced undercover psychology. Survival strategy, said Maria. Authenticity keeps you alive. Months later, Maria's reputation spread throughout the DA. They called her the Guadalajara agent. The perfect combination of cultural expertise and operational experience. But Maria's favorite moments were the team briefings. Her team, now genuinely her team, listening respectfully, asking informed questions, valuing her cultural insights. Today's intelligence, said Maria one morning, suggests Sinaloa expansion into new territories. I'll make predictions based on historical pattern analysis. Walsh raised her hand. Maria, how do you incorporate cultural factors into your analysis? Family loyalty, regional pride, business traditions, these shape cartel behavior more than economics alone. Rodriguez nodded. That's a perspective we never had before. Maria felt satisfaction. Not because of recognition, but because of the team they'd built. Street experience and cultural understanding combined for effective law enforcement. Remember, said Maria, concluding the briefing, cartels are complex organizations. Understanding culture helps predict behavior. Yes, ma'am, the team responded respectfully. Her encrypted phone buzzed, priority alert, Sinaloa leadership meeting detected. Need immediate analysis. Let's go, said Maria, gathering materials. Williams grinned. Lead the way, Santos. We trust your expertise. Maria smiled back. This was where she belonged, using her dangerous past to protect communities, leading a team that respected both her knowledge and her courage. Have you ever had to use your dangerous past experiences for positive purposes? Did your former identity give you unexpected advantages? Share in comments. If this story touched you, subscribe to Stories of Honor. We'll continue telling stories of extraordinary service. See you in next story. Until then, show persistence in challenges. Because fighting for justice requires extraordinary people.